Hi, my name is Sean Deegan. I'm a graduate of the Teen Missions Bible School. I'm also a staff member here at Teen Missions. I run the mailroom, which means pretty much any piece of mail from Teen Missions passes through my office. As of right now, I'm preparing to send out the annual mailing with Teen Missions, doing all the prep work, and we're getting ready to send about 80,000 pieces of mail out to our former team members and people who are affiliated with Teen Missions to let them know about the upcoming summer teams for 2011. What I wanted to share with you today was about how I started working in the mailroom. About 4 years ago, I had been on staff for about a year and a half. I was working on the land crew, working outside, and I got called into Mr. Bland's office. And he told me that the people that had been running the mailroom were moving on to another ministry, and they needed somebody to take over in the mailroom, and they were wondering if I would be willing. I was 21 years old at the time, a little frightened, and I told him I'd pray about it. So I went home and I prayed about it, and the thing that kept on running through my head was you have to be willing. I had no clue what I was going to be doing in here. Didn't know the first thing about running a bulk mailing or anything like that. But God just gave me a peace and said, you know what? You need to be willing to do what I've called you to do. You're here to serve in this ministry. And so I had about a month of training before I was let out on my own as far as running the mailroom. And it's been a learning experience. But something that God's brought me back to over and over again is the fact that you just have to be willing to serve Him. You don't have to have the abilities. I was working on the land crew, cutting brush and things like that. Didn't have the first clue about running a mailroom. But in trusting God, He showed me that I could do it as long as my trust was in Him. And one of my favorite stories in the Bible actually comes pretty well-known character in the book of Judges. His name's Gideon. And we're introduced to Gideon. When we find Gideon, he's hiding in a wine press, threshing wheat in a wine press, and he's hiding there because he's afraid the Midianites are going to come and steal it away. And I've always found it interesting that when the angel of the Lord comes to Gideon, finds him hiding in this wine press, he greets him by saying, "The Lord is with you, you mighty man of valor." Somebody that's hiding in a wine press doesn't strike me as somebody who's a mighty man of valor, and kind of takes Gideon back. He questions the angel as to why he's come to him. And in verse 14, the angel of the Lord turns to him and says, Go in this might of yours, and you shall save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have not I sent you? Gideon's response. So he said to him, O my Lord, how can I save Israel? Indeed, my clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least of my father's house. And the Lord said to him, Surely I will be with you, and you shall defeat the Midianites as one man. Gideon goes on to ask for a sign, and we know the story of the fleece. But every time I look at that story, I'm reminded of the fact that Gideon was not a mighty man of valor. He didn't have those qualities. But when he questions God and says, I'm not able to do this. I'm the youngest in my family, and my family's, we're the weakest in the clan of Manasseh. It reminds me that it doesn't matter what our abilities are as long as we're willing to do what God has for us. God doesn't need us to serve Him. He wants us to serve Him and to do it with the best of our abilities and put our trust in Him, that He is going to bless what we do because we're serving Him. And that's what I wanted to share with you today.